What up, y'all out there? Welcome back to another conference call podcast. Thank you so much for having patience with me and the lack of podcasts I've been doing. To be quite honest with you, I started a new job and it's a little bit more in physical and enduring than my previous job. So hence I don't have much energy and time to do much things when I get home with everything else I have to manage. So I do apologize. I am going to get better at it as soon as I start getting a little bit more acclimated to this crazy work schedule. But anyways, thank you so much for following on all streaming platforms. We truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. So thank you very much. Wow. Big fucking week of fights. Big week. I wasn't a huge fan of PFL, but this past Thursday was excellent. And to be quite honest with you, having a better understanding of how the PFL works and that they have it's called the Professional Fighters League. Most people think that, it's just a group of fighters incorporated with this title. No. It is actually a league with points given per fight, per win, and you get extra bonus points per round if you finish it in that round. See, I didn't know that. Honestly, I didn't really follow much of PFL. I looked through their list, and honestly, being completely honest and transparent with you, I didn't know any of these fighters pretty much. I knew the commentators. So it was interesting. I like the premise. Actually, I love the premise of the PFL League. I really, really like that a lot. But I feel like you can only do that. I mean, I don't know. Could you really do that in the UFC with how many fighters they have? I'm assuming that the PFL, because I just don't know off the top of my head, I came home, I'm like, I'm going to do a podcast because honestly, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to go on a huge rant about all this other shit, but I started going through my phone, and then all these clips of this past week's fights were great. So PFL, so just talking about the stats. So they don't have champions. They have end of year champs based off of points to get into the playoffs. Yeah, there's a playoffs. And then you go up into the finals, and then you are crowned that division champion of that year. That's fucking awesome. And you saw a Dagestani this weekend that just murked this guy with a flying knee. And he just, I think he barely made the playoffs, because most of these crazy Dagestans will just keep you down and just pummel you. They don't have to finish the fight. They just pummel you. They win the fight. They're just all about doing what they need to do exactly how they were trained to do to perfection, and just handle that for an entire fight. And that's it. They don't have to knock you out. If they do it. And they will do it in tremendous fashion. So he barely made the playoffs, but, there was a lot of upsets this weekend. Jesus Pineda knocked out Brendan Lohan. I fucking always fuck his Brendan Lohan. I'm so sorry, bud. I am so fucking sorry I butchered that, but that wasn't actually a huge upset. And I was like, fucking, let's go Mexico, baby. Let's fucking do this. And homeboy fucking knocked that dude down. He just fucking clipped Went down and finished it. Ground and pound. Strikes. Huge upset. That was the hugest upset of the night. But what we all will remember from that PFL event was the retirement of Marlon Moraes. You know, man, I don't know his stats when it came down to making the playoffs. If he had a shot, if he would have won this fight got 6 points, first round knockout or whatever the case may be, or submission. But I think that, what is it? You know, the beginning of his career, he was like a terror in WSOF. WSOF, I believe so. World Series of Fighting. I believe so. He was a killer. I think it was like 10 plus wins. You know, Marlon Moraes retired with a 23-10-1 record. That's a fucking great record. You can't say that he didn't. I mean, you obviously get up into different leagues in different promotions and you start seeing these killers. And that's when you started seeing Moraes' fucking defeats and so on and so forth. But that doesn't, I think, because he's such a great guy and fighter. Honestly, he's a sweetheart just to watch him go in there, do his thing, and he's not like a shitty person. So I felt that at some point it was going to happen, but I wish it would have happened earlier. But I'm glad he went on his terms, and it wasn't that brutal. It was a fucked up knockout for sure, but it wasn't like getting flying knee to fucking, Frankie Edgar or getting kicked in the face by Michael Chandler. So thank you, Marlon Moraes, for a great career, great entertainment. Please, you can even go watch some of his fights on ESPN Plus. What was it? I honestly didn't watch the One Championship. To be quite honest, I was just burnt out. I believe my sister-in-law came over. No, she didn't come over. That was the previous weekend. But, to be quite honest with you, I finished up a series called From. Yes, that's what I did. The previous week, I finished Yellow Jackets. So, honestly, like, I'm not really trying to get into too many TV series, but fucking shit, dude. Like, I went from House of the Dragons. By the way, great show. That's a fucking excellent show. If you're a Game of Thrones fans, you are going to love this show. So I had that. I jumped straight to The Last of Us. So I liked it. I never played the game and I enjoyed it. The chemistry between those two individuals, also you can see they were on Game of Thrones at different points of the series. From the original Game of Thrones, not the House of Dragons. So they have chemistry. And it worked well. And I like the storyline. I believe that it's going to be a lot better than The Walking Dead. Because let's face it, at some point, I mean, if you watched The Walking Dead from season 1 all the way to the finale religiously, my hat is lifted to you. A drink will be toasted I will have a drink for you right now. It's just coffee. Because that show sucked after a while. I think the show sucked after Glenn died and the whole shit with Negan. I think it drug out a little too far. With the governor, that was the perfect amount of fuck that guy for sure. Sorry about the outside. I guess my entire neighborhood is getting their trees and everything all clipped down and shit. I just got a notice that they're going to be working on my side yard and shit for my tree that's going into my for the electrical. So it's actually quite dangerous. So they're going to be doing that soon. So I guess I see that now. It's kind of dope. Oh, I love living out here in the Central Coast. But so I watched The Last of Us. So that's going to be good. It's going to be a lot better than The Walking Dead. So then I go, I need something. I want that kind of dark type of drama in my life. I want to keep that shit going. For the longest time, I've listened to the podcast going to sleep of like crime and all that shit, murder and all that stuff. For some reason, I believe it's just a soothing voice. And you're like, well, fuck, they're talking about kidnapping and rape and killing and all this other shit. You're right. There is kind of a screw loose in my head, but it's more of it's not the interest of like the actual crime and the killing and all that stuff. What intrigues me is why these people do it. Like what drives an individual to do these horrific things, and sometimes even in a mass scale. That's what intrigues me. I tell my daughter all the time that I know I'm a people person. I know I have not great people skills, but I know I can read people. I know what's going on. I can fill things out and I go, all right, I got this. There's multiple things that can happen here and we can find, and I always have a happy medium to all of it. So, man, that coffee was just not a good idea. Anywho, so we jumped off to that. So I from The Last of Us, I needed something dark, and I'm not listening, and I honestly stopped listening to podcasts about crime and stuff. I'm starting to listen to more about history. I started listening to Dan Carlin's podcast again. Started listening to that over because it's just like 3 hours plus each episode, and he does it. He's the best. He's honestly, if I can Rogan is obviously the best podcaster in the world. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just numbers, everything. He does it to perfection. At some point, I stopped listening to Rogan. I used to listen to him religiously every single week. When something came on, I would just pop it in and listen to it and go. I think honestly, he is the best, but Dan Carlin is my favorite. I think he is my favorite, the best. And maybe it's because he only comes out with maybe one or two podcasts a year on his hardcore history. That's the one I don't listen to his addendum a lot, which I probably should, but I like his hardcore history a little bit better just because I'm more intrigued a little bit about how far back he goes and then how he breaks everything down. It's just incredible. You'd figure after all the podcasts I listen to, I'd be a hell of a lot better at this, but I'm not. This is honestly, to be quite honest with you, this podcast initially started at the very, 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 very beginning with the fat guy as just something as a hobby. And when I used to do it, I would do chapters, like chapter 1, all this other stuff, and it'd be like regret or aggression or love or blah, 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 or family. And it was just me going on rants about whatever. And kind of like this one too, but there's just something we're more intrigued with fighting and stuff. And now with wrestling, and we will be doing more of like the movie sessions in the future. We have a lot of things in store for this. Like me and my wife are really going to start getting down with it. She's going to be like the producer of like the videos and all the other stuff. I will let you know when she takes over that. I'll probably be doing stupid videos and shitty quality just to start up a channel on YouTube. But once she gets controlled, she'll have full, credit, and her name will be on it, and you'll fucking see the difference for sure. So we have a lot of things in store for the future, but like I said, with this new job and our schedules are really conflicting, we just have to balance things out where we can set up a appropriate schedule for this podcast so we don't screw you guys over in the long run. And honestly, when I listen to podcasts, I go, fuck, man, I need to do a podcast. I need to do something. I need to say something. I need to say something more than I normally say to other people. Because at my job, I am the rookie of the rookie. And I'm trying to learn this shit. And it's like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself. But that's any job. I'm actually really enjoying this job a lot. And the people are so... When it comes down to training, I put more pressure on myself than my boss. He's like, just take your time. We want it done right. And that's the most important thing. You'll get it. Repetition is key. It's like, man, I just need that little comfort here and there. Don't you? Doesn't anybody? Isn't a compliment mean, doesn't it mean everything because it's so seldom? Because everybody's so into their own lives? People are so hateful and can care less about others because they're just so engulfed in their own bubble. Okay. All right, let's just jump back out to what I was actually watching, and then we'll get over to what I did watch this weekend. So I finished up. So I ended up going from House of Dragons, Last of Us, and then we jumped to Yellow Jackets. Whoo, boy. This show is fucking incredible. It's about a high school soccer team that gets on a plane or is involved in a plane crash and is stranded out in the mountains. I've only gone through one season and they don't tell you where they crashed or anything. I won't give any spoilers because there is some fucking big spoilers in this show. I was like, oh my, there was just so many oh my God moments that, thankfully the season one is already over. Actually, by the time I started watching it, season 2 was just finishing up, airing in its entirety. And my sister-in-law was trying to pressure my lady and I to watch it. Mostly my lady. My lady likes watching this TV shows. I'm kind of really picky about things now. So we ended up watching one episode. I'm like, all right, I'll give it another one. Then the next one was like, all right, okay, cool. Okay, we got this. I think it's gonna be good. Come episode, 5 or 6? I was fully embedded in this fucking show. And I go, this is really, we still have another season to get through? And she's like, yes, fuck yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, let's go. Let's fucking go. So, I'm really excited about this show. Really, really excited. And I had to give myself a break from Yellow Jackets because I haven't started season 2 yet because I needed a break. But actually, you know what? I think I did finish. Wait. Hold up. Now we'll get back to it. I believe I did finish it because I jumped from. Yes, I did finish Yellow Jackets season 2. That's why. That's actually, you know what? Yes, I did. I did finish it up with my sister-in-law. So we finished that up. Highly recommended. I give it a fucking 8.5 out of 10. Easily. This show is incredibly good. Incredibly good. Especially if you like suspense. There's one thing. It's a female soccer team that gets stranded. So, and they're young high school kids. They're going to nationals. I'll give you this. They're on a plane to go play nationals. And then it crashes. No spoilers. I can't even tell you. I won't tell you. You should go watch it. So as soon as I finish that one up, that's right, everything's all keying in because then it goes into the fourth series. I'm like, I am just so watching all these shows big time. So I ended up trying to find another show that's kind of similar to The Last of Us and so on and so forth. So the producers of The Last of Us also produced this show called From, and it's on this streaming platform, MGM. I believe it's called MGM Plus. Dude, it is a creepy show, and it's so simple. This is season 2 as well. I haven't even started season 2 yet. But season 1 is just cramming all this craziness in your brain. And the one downfall I have to say about the show, the only thing I dislike about it, I won't give it. It wasn't perfect. I'd give this show an 8.5 out of 10 as well. And one of the big reasons why I really disliked it is the theme song was fucking awful, dude. When Game of Thrones, they change the intro up all the time with the scenery. But that music is so fucking awesome. You don't give a fuck. You love that music so much. If you didn't notice, if you were a Game of Thrones fan, by the end of the series, you weren't just listening to the theme song. You were seeing the dragon breaking through the wall, firing through the wall. You're seeing like the march and the clouds as the walkers walk through walk towards Westeros and the Winterfell and all that bullshit. So if you have a good theme song, you can do shit with the intro. Like you can put little spoilers or little hints in there, some weird shit, but not if your fucking song sucks. I haven't even watched the intro of From because I can't stand the song. And there's some shit on there. There's some little pointers of what, that gives you little hints here and there, but I won't even watch it. I won't even help myself out with the theory just because that theme song is not good. So anyways, I've been really busy with that, so I didn't have that opportunity to do one. But holy motherfucking guacamole, UFC 289 was dope. And we did a podcast, me and my fiance did a podcast this weekend. Only taped the Dariush and Charles Oliveira, which I fucking was so scared because Oliveira looked really bad on weigh-ins, but whew, just amazing how much you can fucking just bulk up in 24 hours, yo. And just by the look of him on the weigh-ins, I thought Dariush was going to fucking mop this guy apart. I was really worried about it, but in my heart, I wanted Oliveira to get another shot at Islam. I really do. And you know what? Dariush is going to have another shot. He's going to... I don't know who they're going to set. I mean... who do you set Dariush up with? He's one fight away from fucking a championship. Just give him another person to fucking fight. You give Islam to Oliveira, who rightfully so, what I was saying, like if I think I was telling my fiance, whoever wins this fight, if it comes out in dramatic form either way, they're instantly going to think about a title shot against Islam. And sure shit enough, round fucking 1, Oliveira fucking kicked that fucking dude down. It looked like, I almost thought it was a fucking pure block and it was just like a rock, just like bink. Okay, that worked just off gravity. But no, man, he fucking kicked through that hand and bam, knocked him down, did what he needed to do to finish it off with strikes. It was so fucking impressive. So knowing that happened in dramatic form, they're already thinking about October in Abu Dhabi. Pfft. See? Told you. And rightfully so. They should just do it. So congratulations on Charles Oliveira. I did watch 289. I really enjoyed it. I could not pass it up. Obviously, Amanda Nunes beat Aldana, beat the living fucking shit out of that girl. I was hoping that there was going to be another Hispanic that was going to be able to take the title, but there was just no way. That bitch was fucking on a rampage. And on top of it, she retires. As soon as she ran over to Dana White and she started like, as soon as she started doing that, I go, she's retiring. She's retiring. And then everybody lost their fucking mind. Like, what about Juliana Pena? What about Juliana Pena? Did you watch the last fight between them? I don't give a fuck what you were suffering. I don't care who was sick. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. She fucking rocked. She fucked you up. You forget about the first fight. And I won money on that fight. You forget about that first fight because Amanda Nunes nullified it. She's like, fuck that shit, dude. It is Dunskies. That was nothing. I beat your fucking ass, woman. And she retires and everybody fucking goes crazy. I was really shocked that Juliana Pena stumped as low as she did because they actually got a shot of her freaking out over her retirement. Here, let's check it out. What a child.
Shut up! Oh! She's not scared. Yeah, she's not scared. She's not scared. Then you pay her! You suck!
Wow.
She's not scared. She's retiring.
What a fucking child. You don't think you're going to get the title shot next? I want to beat Amanda Nunes and then retire her. You were not going to beat that bitch's ass. And you would have ended up in the same fucking spot just a year fucking later. Be thankful that you were the one. You were the fucking massive underdog that beat her. At least you can tip your hat off to that. But let's just be completely honest. Would you bet the house that Juliana Pena is going to have a fucking title run as good, if not better, than Amanda Nunes? Put it in the comments. Would you bet your house, everything you own, that Juliana Pena is going to have a better title run than fucking Amanda Nunes? I bet you 98% of you would be like, nope. This bitch should be fucking like the whole, you know what? Amanda Nunes made a joke like, it's so funny. Everybody's getting excited about potentially winning these belts that they don't have to worry about me. It's so fucking true. She's a killer. Valentina Shevchenko is my UFC fucking, oh my God. She's my celebrity crush and then some. Her and Jennifer Aniston, and I've told my wife about that. She even couldn't fucking outwit Amanda Nunes. And Shevchenko's a badass. You don't think she's going to go back and get her title? She will. Don't worry about it. She's good. She's humbling herself right now. She got humbled, and now she's going to come back and wreak havoc. But easy there, young lady. You don't need to freak out like you're never going to get a fucking title shot again. That's just like people that are freaking out over Habib not being in the UFC anymore. Oh, he's fucking retiring, man. It's fucking bullshit. Why? He went undefeated and murked everybody. All the greatest of greats that we are watching right now and waiting for them to fight as we fucking speak. Habib destroyed every single one of them. What more does he have to prove? What more does Amanda Nunes have to prove? At some point, we as entertainers, or not me, as them as entertainers, have to realize that they have a fucking, like, and so do we. We have to realize they have a fucking life outside of this sport. That we as the sports fan want to see, but majority of the sports fans want to see these individuals get hurt. Think about that. As much as I'm a fan and I appreciate the art, there's fucking more than half of me that's like, knock on the fuck out. Because you know what? That's just human nature. You can't tell me that you never stopped in a school fight to go just to see what the fuck happened. I remember in high school, my high school crazy ass bitch of a fucking ex-girlfriend fought this chick and was smashing her face in the fucking concrete. Smashing her face in the fucking concrete. I don't know what that girl did to my girlfriend to piss her off that much that she deserved to get her head smashed in the fucking concrete. But it happened. And I watched. I actually shouted out for her. I'm like, go babe, kick her ass. It's like, they're like, everybody's watching like, oh, okay. Oh my God, stop. And that was me. And everybody else is like, oh my God, dude, what the fuck? You know, you don't break that shit up because you're not getting anything later. She called me up later on, asked if she was okay. And she's like, I'm fine. Got a couple scratches. But apparently there was no charges involved because whatever that fucking bitch did to my girlfriend was justified between both parents. So, so not justified, but it was justified of the actions that happened. Maybe not to the extent, but I mean, fuck. I believe it had something to do with her brother. Her brother was like a few years older than us. And he was scary. Like he was a yoked out, like you can probably envision this dude as a white supremacist, you know, with a really nice haircut and everything and kept it like really, you know, covered up. But he wasn't. He was just a jacked, really intimidating white guy, but he was a fucking sweetheart. Every time I came over to his house, he was incredibly fucking nice to me. Great guy. Really great guy. I wish it's kind of weird because the parents, like the brother and sister were kind of like a little great personalities, great people. What I thought were great people, but my ex-girlfriend was fucking lunatic. Honestly, she would like overdose and then have to get her stomach pumped out and shit. And she would call me up at night, like really late at night and shit. And hopefully it didn't wake my fucking parents up. And she'd call me up from the hospital like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It's like, why the fuck are you doing this to yourself? She's like, I fucking hate my life. I hate my parents. And it's like, her parents were fantastic. Just because her parents wanted to have rules and restrictions. It's like, she shit on her parents so much. Mind you, I didn't have sex with this girl at all until later on in life, where I ended up having sex with her in the next room to her son that was sleeping. Great parenting. Fucking idiot. So, yeah, wow, that fucking went nuts. It's kind of like the old podcast days. So, I won't keep you on for long. I'll keep my rant that I was going to have for later, or earlier that I thought I was going to go on, for a later podcast. More than likely, I'll let it go nuts. But hey, Juliana Pena, go enjoy the fact that you're going to fight for the title next. Sorry, my microphone got fucked up while I was moving it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy knowing that your next challenge isn't going to be that fucking crazy. You know, just become your champion. Get a fucking defense or two under your belt and then go from there. Can't talk shit that she compares herself to Anderson Silva, which her title run was fucking just as much as his. They're just the same amount, if not just maybe a little less. I'm sure it's like the same, I believe. It's like, fuck off, bitch. Why don't you just get 2 title defenses first and then we'll go from there. You'll never be the GOAT. You'll never have that run, ever. Even if you win 2 titles, I just don't see it. It depends on who you beat. I mean, I guess. I don't fucking know. Anyways, I'll let it go. I'll leave it at that. Go watch House of Dragons, Last of Us, Yellow Jackets, From. Go watch 289 if you didn't watch 289. Go watch the PFL. Honestly, because that league is dope. I like the points and playoff situation in that. I really enjoy it. So thank you all for listening to the podcast. Please go rate and review the show if you have not already. And as always, be positive and stay classy. Peace.